Thousands gathered in Boston over the weekend for the most confusing protest ever held. In what seemed to be a microcosm of the nation as a whole, no one at the protest knew what anyone believed. They just knew that they themselves were paragons of virtue and hated everyone else. There were Nazis supporting free speech, anti-fascists supporting fascism, and 7 guys who were trying to get to the Red Sox game but stopped off at the protest to see if there was any free beer. President Trump added to the confusion by tweeting that the country needed to heal, but he spelled heal H-E-E-L, so no one knows what that was about. Maybe something having to do with feet. Your guess is as good as mine. CNN's Jim Acosta tried to clear things up with a report from the scene saying, quote, "Look at me, I'm Jim Acosta. I can stand on my head and wiggle my toes. Look at me, look at me, look at me right now," unquote. Acosta then played a video of himself shouting rude and ignorant questions at people without listening to their answers, and offered to sell passersby a home video entitled The Acosta Family Picnic, starring Jim Acosta. In one touching moment during the protest, white supremacists and anti-fascists joined together for the annual Worst People in the Country sing-along, singing, quote, "We are the worst people in the country. We wish we could write a song with clever lyrics or even words that rhyme, but we can't because we are the worst people in the country," unquote. The nation's politics have become so confusing of late because unemployment, racism, and crime are at such low levels that no one knows what to complain about. So they're just complaining about the first thing that comes to mind: statues, internet memes, and every blessed word out of Donald Trump's mouth. As one protester put it, quote, "Personally, I don't have any real problems that couldn't be fixed by a good psychiatrist, but if I scream loudly enough, maybe I can make everyone hysterical about something," unquote. Boston police, meanwhile, seem to have done a good job minimizing the violence at the rally, spreading out over the city in what they called Operation Keep These Knuckleheads from Hurting One Another. As one officer put it, quote, "I have never seen so many idiots gathered together in one place for no earthly reason. It's like they held an aimless idiot convention in Philadelphia, and the people who were too stupid to find their way there came to Boston instead," unquote. Not all of the protesters were terrible people, however. One woman held up a sign saying we all have to love one another. But then someone explained to her that that was never going to happen, so she went home and watched TV. As CNN's Jim Acosta reported at the end of the day, quote, "Look at me, I'm Jim Acosta. I can pat my head and rub my tummy at the same time. I'm Jim Acosta. Look at me," unquote. Actually, everyone at the protest seems to have been saying pretty much the same thing. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.